Spartoi is a team assembled by Lord Death that consists of the DWMA's most elite meisters, made with the purpose of combating the Kishin Asura and the Witch Order. While there are technically 14 members of Spartoi, I'm considering every meister and weapon, or weapons, as one pair, taking the total count down to 6. And I will also be taking everyone from their peak strength in order to make this list a little bit more fun. Before we get started, it'd be great if you dropped a like on the video for the algorithm and subscribe for future content. Coming up last in 6th place is Diehl. Kim is a 2-star meister and wields the demon lamp Jacqueline O-Lantern Dupre. With her partner Jackie, Kim is able to shoot fire and fly similar to a witch with a broom. Even without her partner, Kim is decently skilled in hand-to-hand combat, being able to take on fellow Spartoi member Ox Ford, albeit he was injured at the time. Kim is also a witch, which allows her to use magic. She is a Tanuki witch, so she specializes in regeneration that she can use on herself or others. Her regeneration also seems to be able to repair inanimate objects, such as a hole in a shirt or hair that has been ripped off of someone's head. There is a limit to what she can heal, however. Wounds that are too deep cannot be healed, seen as when she failed to fully heal BlackStar's scars from his fight with Mifune. The reason Kim is here at the bottom is because despite her decent mastery of hand-to-hand combat, she is not very mobile when fighting, which allows for characters such as Weapons to best her in a fight on 2 different occasions, as well as the fact that during her fight with Ox, she was amped by the morality manipulation machine, increasing her thirst for destruction, destructive capabilities, and allowing her to be influenced by the pool of magic. At number 5, we have Ox Ford. Ox is a 2-star meister and wields his spear weapon partner Harvar D. Eclair. Wielding his partner, Ox is known as the self-imposed Lightning King, being able to enhance his attacks with lightning and attacking with lightning speed. Ox is also decently adept at hand-to-hand combat. Being an extremely skilled and intelligent meister, Ox has the ability of soul perception, albeit it's not quite as strong as it could be, being weaker than Maka's or Death the Kid's. Ox is mainly here due to his showings against Kim in the Operation Capture Baba Yaga Castle arc and in the Battle for Brood. Ox was able to stand his ground against an amped Kim despite being injured and holding back, and is also capable of using a perfect chain resonance with his teammate Kilik Ruby and performing combo attacks with him. Taking up the number 4 spot, we have Kilik Ruby. Kilik is a 2-star meister and dual wields his partners Thunder and Fire. Kilik has once been regarded as one of the 3 strongest combatants in the DWMA next to BlackStar and Death the Kid. Although this was stated early in the series, it's still impressive. He possesses natural brute strength and excellent reflexes, somewhat similar to BlackStar, but not on the same level. His weapon partners, Thunder and Fire, are demon pots that are worn on his fists, giving him increased striking power and allowing him to command the elements of fire and electricity. Using his weapons, Kilik can output his maximum firepower instantaneously, allowing him to deliver devastating blows at a quick rate. He's also extremely skilled in hand-to-hand combat, as he was able to be a demon tool programmed to be an expert in at least 10 forms of martial arts in a single hit, as well as being able to take down an opponent who can see his next 20 moves in advance because there simply wouldn't be a way to avoid his punch. Kilik also has extremely good wavelength control, not only being able to wield 2 weapons at the same time, which is already considered difficult for most meisters, but also being able to wield 2 weapons that are not his, seeing as he was able to use Liz and Patty for a time. Even though this was a one-time thing, I feel that it's necessary to mention that when awakened by Kim, Thunder and Fire transform into their Earth Shaman forms and are thus able to wield weapons themselves for a combo attack. Starting off the top 3, we have our main character, Maka Albarn. Maka is a 2-star Scythe Meister that wields the last Death Scythe, Souleater Evans. Maka, despite being 3rd on this list, is extremely powerful. She is an expert Scythe Meister, being able to wield her own partner's soul, but was also able to wield her father's spirit, and is briefly capable of using Tsubaki in her Chain Scythe form. Early in the series, she can even use the great traditional technique of the Scythe Meister Witch Hunt in its modified forms number 6 Hunt and letter U Hunt, and is eventually able to use Witch Hunt's evolved form Demon Hunt. Maka also possesses the Soul Perception ability, and has the strongest use of it in the series. When pushed to her limit with some help from Soul, she was able to sense souls all around the world and even all the way to the moon. Maka also has a special soul type called a Gregory Soul, which gives her soul's wavelength feathers. In addition to that, her soul also has what's called an anti-demon wavelength that allows her to ward off madness and evil in general. Maka has physical capabilities comparable to that of Patty, who beat both Ox and Kim in hand-to-hand combat. While using her partner Souleater Evans, Maka gains a plethora of new abilities. After turning Soul into a Death Scythe, Maka is able to use his advanced wavelength control in her Gregory Soul to manifest wings on Soul's scythe handle, giving them the ability of flight. Due to Soul being infected with black blood, during the process of soul resonance, Maka is granted abilities similar to Krona, such as heightened physical strength, durability, and regeneration. When this ability was unmastered, she would become fueled by madness, which took away her ability to feel fear, making her fighting style more erratic. However, over time, Maka became able to use black blood in the form of armor, still giving her the same advantages while letting her keep her sanity. The first time the black blood armor was used, it was incomplete but still made her strong enough to defeat the spider witch Arachne. At her strongest, with a full blast of black blood from Soul, her armor evolved and gave her the ability of flight without the use of Soul, and was able to wound the Kishin Asura and allowed him to be sealed. Taking the 2nd place spot, we have the son of Lord Death, Death the Kid. Kid is the only 3-star Meister on this list, and that's for good reason, since as the end of Souleater, Kid is the new death god of the Souleater world. Since Kid is a Shinigami that was made in the form of a human, Kid has natural superhuman physical abilities, being stronger and faster than most by default, as well as being immune to physical ailments like sunburn and sickness. Kid dual wields the demon twin pistols Liz and Patty as his partners. With his weapons, Kid shoots out compressed wavelengths of his soul. Kid is extremely skilled with and without his weapons in close combat, making him an amazing all-around fighter. He is also a master of his own martial arts style, Reaper Taijutsu, and rivals the likes of BlackStar in skill. His soul resonance early in the series are called the Death Cannons, in which his guns become massive cannons that wrap around his arms and fire massive blasts. Kid also possesses the Soul Perception ability, however it's not as powerful as Maka's. When Kid is consumed by madness, he gains the power of the Madness of Order, and can utilize it to boost his power to its full potential. Upon awakening the lines of Sanzu, Kid gains a new set of abilities. After awakening the first line, Kid becomes able to regenerate, or at the very least, reattach entire limbs, such as when he reattached his arm after having it torn off by a mosquito, and his weapons evolve from 38 caliber guns to 42 caliber. After awakening the 3rd line of Sanzu, Kid becomes a true death god, gets control over his madness wavelength, and becomes immortal. Taking the top spot, if you didn't guess it already, is the warrior god himself, BlackStar. BlackStar is a 2-star Meister and wields the shadow weapon Tsubaki Nakatsukasa, one of the most powerful weapons in Souleater. BlackStar has immense natural physical abilities, being stronger, faster, and more durable than pretty much everyone in the series besides the literal gods. He's not only a master of hand-to-hand combat, but also has mastery over numerous weapons such as katana, shuriken, chain scythes, and more. Born from the Star clan, BlackStar is an assassin and is proficient in using the way of assassination when fighting. BlackStar is one of the few characters that are able to utilize his soul wavelength without the use of a weapon, giving him access to the Soul Menace technique, which allows him to dispel his soul wavelength as electricity, which causes internal damage. During his fight with the sword god Mifune, BlackStar is likened to be a heaven-sent warrior, having the natural instincts to adapt to any combat situation he's in. His partner Tsubaki is a shadow weapon that can take multiple forms, with the most notable being the Uncanny Sword. When utilizing the power of the Uncanny Sword, BlackStar gains control over shadows, and can use them to wrap around the sword to form even more weapons, or even wrap the shadow around himself, giving him a third limb and even more versatility when fighting. During the battle on the moon, BlackStar transcends human understanding, displaying feats such as catching and throwing lasers, lifting one of the moon's teeth and throwing it by himself, swallowing and throwing up a nuke, and fighting with multiple broken bones and even a spine. BlackStar basically has the ability to do anything he wants as long as he tries. As if I couldn't do something God can do. The only things I can't do are the things only I can't do. To further prove this claim, in the final chapter of Soul Eater, we see that BlackStar has taught himself how to float without the assistance of his partner. On top of all this, BlackStar is blatantly stated to be stronger than Kid after awakening his true Death God form not once, but twice. Once by Asura and once by Kid himself, making him the strongest of Spartoi, if not the strongest Meister in general.
Lately I'm feeling so cool. Yeah. Come and get a taste of the hip soul food. Spice up the animal when Neo haiku. While soul goes to school where he slash kung fu.